Fear not, for you are found. You are home and there is no going back. No one leaves this place. But what is this place? The answer is the Big Show. A live stream for gamers. Minus the boring parts. The show lives on the edge of the known and unknown. It is a direct democracy, and Players Club members decide what happens next. The Players Club is the place for all things searching to be part of something greater. Like you. And here on the show you are significant. You are valuable. Here, you are loved. And no one loves you more than the TuxedoBandido. He is the original. The first player one. The creator of the show and father of the Players Club. Where once you were lost, now you are part of something. You are part of the Big Show. Congratulations. You will meet the TuxedoBandido in 5 seconds. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. You are now meeting the TuxedoBandido.
What's up, Bandidos? Happy Saturday and welcome to the 3rd edition of our Big Show. I'm really excited to do today's because we have some fun builds to get to. I have some gamer music videos that's going to drop, as well as a little bit of that Pimp My Build stuff that we love oh so much. Oh so much. Anyways, having tons of fun making these, and I hope you guys are enjoying them. We do try to keep these in about an hour 15 to an hour and a half long, so that way they're easy to digest after the fact if you are catching this on the replay. So that's sort of the big deal, the whole dealio thingamabob. Is that what I'm gonna say? Thingamabob behind that? Whatever. Anyway, so we got a little bit of gameplay that's gonna be happening, and this is the build that I am running for the gameplay. So I'm gonna do a quick walkthrough of it, okay? And so this is what we're seeing here, but I'm not gonna go like into extreme detail on this, just so you know, just because I do have a build video that I just released on this this last week, so you may or may not have seen it, but I'll give you a glimpse of what we're looking at, what we're working with here. So let's switch over to my character and then I'll show you. Okay, so basically this is a 4-piece Umbra build used in a very unusual way. So for the most part, people use the Umbra initiative because of the amazing RPMs and crit damage, but we're not. We're actually using it for our efficiency to heal, because it also comes with amazing basically armor regen, and so the base armor regen, it's sort of really confusing in the stats here, but you all know by now that the base armor regen on this is 40% regen over 5 seconds. That's absolutely amazing. It's 8% regen per second if you break that down, so you don't have to stay in cover the entire time to get it, you know, just popping in and out of cover. And so the really cool thing about it is that it stacks when you're out of cover, and that's how we're playing this build. This is an out of cover build. And so I'm using all of my favorite weapons. So we got the no scope White Death, we got the 1886, and I'm doing heavy on the regulars for this one. Pistols are really fast and crowd controlling with that explosion. And then we're using the TAC 50 to charge up, which you'll see. And so I basically have loaded everything up with headshot damage. Again, we're absolutely not using the crits. We're just bypassing it, but just because we want the hills. And the reason why is because this build is one-shot killing everything, so we don't need excessive damage. We just need enough damage to kill everything that we see with a single bullet, you know. And if every now and again we have to kill somebody with 2 bullets, I don't care. We're that strong. Notice I got a skill tier here and an armor skill tier and an armor core, so we're 2 blues, 2 yellows, and what is that, 5 reds? 1 2 3 4 reds. 4 reds. So 4 reds, 2 blues, 2 yellows. And then the chest piece is what you would expect: Walker and Harris, weapon handling, headshot damage, and then headhunters, which gives us that one shot, one kill. What up, Hiromi? And so really cool build, very fun, very different. And then I use the memento. It's really important to use memento because we're actually after that second skill tier into 30% skill efficiency. And then of course the 3% armor regen and the bonus armor help us when we're out of cover. So that gives us a little bit of healing out of cover. And then we got 20% bonus armor that we're stacking in a big way. And we have this shield that's pretty invulnerable. It's a tier 4 shield. I'm sure it can break, but it never broke during my gameplay. And I'm running with 4 directives, so you'll see that. So very strong. So it gets, you know, whatever ammo that they have or damage that they throw at me, this thing holds up at a tier 4. So anyways, but I'm sure it can break. It just never did. Everybody died before they had a chance to kill it, basically. And then we got the right foam, we got 4 in the can, and then we're gonna get 30% skill efficiency on top of that. So that's what we're after, is to make sure we always have this ammo. What it does is just cuts down on the BS in the game. You know, the enemies doing the cartwheels, or they run really fast and you're chasing them and they're like outrunning you, like, you know, like Bolt. You know, it's just like, you know, like they're all Jamaican sprinters apparently. So you know, this will catch them, stick them to the ground. And then preservation is really important. That's giving us 20% armor kill on kill, because we're always killing with the head while we're out of cover too. And so you'll see me really cycling through this weapons. And then when I'm feeling strong, I'm going pistol. And then when I need the extra heals or just for fun, I swap, because I really like using the long barrels too. So stats wise, we're at 251 on this bad boy, and probably about 209 on the pistol. So, and then we are using the TAC 52, so keep that in mind. So that's what we're seeing here in this crazy stuff. So it shouldn't be looping. Why is it looping? Oh, we don't want to restart. I got it. Gotcha. Sorry about that. Let me push this just a little bit forward. Okay, cool. So it is really fun. And so what's really cool about this build, I gotta say, is that like we're gonna move on here in a minute, but just want to explain what you're seeing in the background. But the directives are just, it's a great build if you're looking for XP. So, and I know all of you are, because, you know, XP farming has really changed in this game. And maybe that's temporary, maybe it's not, but it's gonna be this way for a while, I'm sure, right? Since they change things in the summit. So I did run this build in the summit. You're not going to see it in this gameplay, but that video footage is in the build video. So I'll want to, you know what? Now that I think about it, I'll make sure I grab the link here while I'm talking. But so yeah, the build video does show summit, me running this in the summit, and I put on 8 directives in the summit. Here we go. Here's the build. And so it's really nice, because you know, if you have the ammo thing going, like pistolero or hard to earn, that kind of stuff, then you know, then you're going to use your pistol a lot. But even your rifle and your marksman rifle, the White Death, they don't use a lot of ammo, and sharpshooter regenerates ammo for you. So that's great. And then you are using your special ammo from time to time to kind of minimize the amount of shots it takes to ramp up your headhunter. So that's really handy. And I use it for the scope too. Otherwise you are damaging the enemies with those explosions. So multiple enemies with those explosions, which is also cutting down on ammo. So it's really efficient build when it comes to ammo. If the enemy's if you got like an EMP pulse or something that's preventing you from pushing on the enemies with your pistol, then you use your long barrels. If you got an enemy rushing you, then you hit them with your riot foam. If you don't have skills, then just one shot, one kill everybody. You know, because of some sort of pulse or whatever. So it really does make it really efficient. It really is a really efficient build for XP farming, whether it's a summit or the open world, because everything that they throw at you, like no regen, you know, you got really crazy self-sufficiency in your build when it comes to heals, both in preservation and because of Umbra. And then of course the backpack on top of that. But there's no armor on kill on this build, and so that's what's sort of unique for a run and gun build to not that moves at this pace. To not have armor on kill is really amazing, and this is why. Look at the heals right here, right? So 8% armor regen per second, right? And then you put that was without preservation, and now I have preservation, and preservation kind of puts it on turbocharge, right? So And we're still working on our trophies. As you can see, I don't have a full set of trophies yet. So once we get those to the peak, then, you know, it's just going to go nuts around here. You're going to have a lot of fun with this build. Now, of course, it is a build that requires headshots. So, you know, there's that. But of course, Umbra doesn't require headshots. So you can modify this build and, you know, kind of use it for whatever your M1A or your SIG, whatever your rifle is, that's your favorite. Or just go all in and run preservation on an assault rifle too. You can do that. But one of the things that makes this build nice is that it doesn't rely on ammo. It doesn't rely on ammo. That's what I like. And then the big shield. Let's talk about the big shield. So, you know, I'm not a really big shield kind of guy, but it does allow me to stay out of cover longer. So as you can see, I'm not running around with my shield like a tank. I am pulling into cover when I need to, and I pop out the shield only when I need to, like right here. And I try to minimize how long I do it, but you know, when a situation calls, I'm going to use a shield, like right there. It's a perfect example. And so, and it's invulnerable, but what's really special about it is that when it gets hit with an enemy with special damage, you don't get the special damage effect. You don't get the status effects applied to you, right? So that's why it's really important if you're going to run 4 directives and play out of cover. And so that's what's, again, what's really neat about the build is that we're playing out of cover, you know, with 4 directives. That's unique. That's unique. I'm not sure a lot of builds can do that. I mean, like if I was out with an assault rifle, I don't think I'd feel comfortable spending as much time out of cover as I do with this build, you know? I don't know. What are your thoughts? Do you guys have play a lot out of cover when you're running 4 directives like this? All I can say is that it stings. It stings when you get hit with that special ammo. So it's a little bit easier with these 1-shot 1-kill builds. And then of course we got all the regen behind it. But that big shield is what makes that special ammo not really a big deal. I mean, I get tagged with it from time to time, but it's pretty rare. So anyways, a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I hope you guys are having a beautiful Saturday. So I'm sure you guys all know by now that we got a content delay. So we're not going to get the apparel event on Tuesday. That's a big... I was really excited about the apparel event. I don't know why they keep delaying on the apparel event. I was kind of complaining in my stream the other night. What up, Simon? What up, Outward Curves? Reaper Hawk, what's up, bros? Trobs. So I was Smurfs in the house. We got another Smurfy build here for you in a few minutes. So we, I was kind of complaining the other night because, you know, they put up a post on Twitch saying that, you know, they have some voice application that's created some issues in their software, and it's kind of, and which therefore is affecting the manhunt, right? And I was like, well, what does the voice issues have to do with the apparel event? Can anybody answer that for me? I don't know. Did anybody figure that out? But so it's sort of frustrating that the apparel event is delayed. I'm supposed to get that on Tuesday, and I don't get. Maybe, I mean, the only thing I could think of is because of the bug, maybe they had to divert resources from the apparel event, from finishing off the apparel event, to try to work on the bugs, I guess. That's the only thing I could think of, but it also tells you, God, how they really are delivering just-in-time content. Kelly's in the house. Just-in-time content, right? Like, I mean, shit, if the apparel event wasn't done weeks ago, like, I'm really surprised. Is anybody else? You know? Like, I mean, you know what I mean? You would have thought that they would have designed the apparel, like, way back when, right? Like, when they were working on the other apparel for, like, street activation or... what was the other one that we just did? I forget the name of it, but the specialization one, you know, one where everything was based on specializations. But anyways, that aside, you know, who knows? We can speculate all day. It is what it is. But they really need to work on their deliveries. I mean, Jesus Christ, right? I mean, at the very least, every Tuesday, it would be nice to get a Tuesday regular update every Tuesday, just to fix at least one bug on every Tuesday. Like, I don't know, regular maintenance is what we're talking about there. But apparently we are going to get patch 16.3 on Tuesday. That's the word on the street. So we'll see if that happens. I try to keep my expectations low right now. So Memphis knows what I'm talking about. Disconnected, what up? Thanks for the shout out, bro. Thanks for the shout out. So anyway, so that's the news. It's not, you know, I don't want to talk about it too much. It is what it is, you know what I mean? And I think focusing on it kind of goes down the negative rabbit hole, and it's just like, you know, it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. It's an under sized team apparently with not enough resources, and that's a corporate thing, and it's sad, but it is what it is. But anyways, we still love the game, and so we're still going strong, and we're gonna keep pushing. So let's take a look at what should we do next, guys? And probably the build. You guys want to do some build stuff? So let me actually pause this real quick, and then let's go ahead and turn off the music, and let's check out this week's build for the big show.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
We love blowing things up, right?
Well, you can tell by the way I use my words. Yes, I do. The one my words
Talk through this build real quick, just make sure we're on the same page. So again, this is centered on explosive delivery, on the talent, which is obviously an explosive talent for explosive skills. Doesn't have to be explosive skills, but it works best. But whenever you throw a skill, 1.5 seconds later, you're gonna get an explosion, and that it's 5 meters, which looks pretty good from the circle you see. And you don't take damage from that explosion, by the way. So damage skills with skill tier, dealing 25 to 100% damage of a concussion grenade. And we're at a 2 million concussion grenade right now. That's as strong as that thing gets. And so that's why we're running explosive damage, to make things as strong as possible for our skills. And then I'm running one piece Grupo on my gloves. It's got status effects and skill damage. We are playing into status effects, but we are running 2 pieces of Grupo overall for that 15% explosive damage. And then here's my second piece here on the knees, and more skill damage and haste. You want as much skill haste as possible, of course, skill damage. Because this is an updated explosive delivery build, what I'm trying to do, the intentions are to run 2 pieces of Brazos, or at least 1 piece of Brazos, because we get new gear. And I've created these builds before, right? So I've created this same build with a Wyvern and a Hana, or 2 pieces of China Light instead. I've done this with the BTSU gloves. I've done this with the Costa Go bag. But my intentions are, like, within, when we're inside of a season, is to use the new gear that the devs give us, and to create new builds for you with the new gear, you know, so that we're getting the most out of the game. Like, I'm not just going to create the same explosive delivery build I created in, you know, TU14, TU15 for you. I mean, I just give you a link to that video, right? So this is an updated explosive delivery build, and so in order for it to be considered an updated, we got to use the new gear, and it's got to be good. So, you know, does it meet the marks, right? Does it do what it's set out to do? Is it an effective build, and is it fun? And so that's the measure of a good build for us. So one of the things is we're running 2-piece Brazos for the skill haste. We are using the skill haste because we want our skills deployed as often as possible, but we're also using it for the skill tier, so that allows us to put on some more armor, because we are playing inside the kill zone. So we got armor here, skill haste, skill damage, and 2 pieces Brazos for that skill tier also. And then the backpack, I'm running tech support, which is nice. So it's not there until you get your first kill with your skill, and then it's active. It's skill damage, skill haste there, and skill tier, we're using the vial because both of our skills put out bleed, which is nice, and skill damage also, but it applies bleed, and so does this. So this is an explosive skill, Kill and has Bleed. Both those skills are going to activate Vile, so the enemies are being debuffed. And all the status effects and explosive damage make a stronger Vile debuff. And so when an enemy dies because of the Bleed, it's going to activate tech support. So there's 3 ways basically we can activate tech support. One is from explosive delivery, and then from the explosions or stinger directly, or from the Bleed. So there's 3 ways to get tech support activated. And then of course Vile is making them easier to kill. Now what's really unique is we're using the mop. We settled on this for that 10% armor on kill, and I'm running preservation for another 10% armor on kill. So you can run this with NSYNC. That's what we were doing before, and I really like it with NSYNC. So it's a tough call on which is better. It really is. And so I'm testing it both ways, and I like it both ways. Sacrificing a little bit of damage for more armor on kill or armor regen, if you want to look at it that way, allows you to play more aggressively and push on the enemy a little bit more. So, but if you decide to go for more damage, it also works because it allows you to kill the enemy faster, which means that you have less threats shooting at you, which means you need a little bit less armor repair. So they're both right. There's no wrong way here, I guess is the best way to put it. So it's all going to come down to how fast you play and how fast you like to play. And I think if you play really fast, you're probably going to run preservation. You need, if you're getting aggressive kills, if you're playing aggressively, then you need aggressive heals. That's what I'm finding, because if you get in a pinch, you don't always have time to heal yourself up with an armor kit, but that works too. Very nice. Anyways, your skills do activate preservation. Your skills do activate armor on kill. Even if you don't use your gun, you just have to have it in hand. So you can do the same thing with the TDI card if you decide to go that way. So you can run preservation on a TDI card, get the extra skill tier, and then run more armor on your build. The more armor on our build's not really going to do anything for us because we are playing from cover. We are. And so you'll see me running around and ducking, diving and dodging and all that stuff. But the reality is that we don't really need that much armor. I'm avoiding bullets as much as I can. Nothing really to see in the stats here because it's all skill related. So really strong skills. They're definitely doing a job all tier 6 here. Skill damage is explosive damage everywhere. She bled out. Strong enough. You know what I mean? Strong enough. That's what preservation right there. Destruction. Super fun. Where's my hive? Where's my hive? Give me my hive. God damn it. Oh, grenade. Oh, good fucking toss. Jump. Fucking game. Come on with that fucking dizzy shit. Oh, she rolled right into it. It was a good round right there. Might have just proved the concept. No escape. We need some better training around here, you know? Oh, look at fire grenade. So that's this week's build, and I hope you guys love it because it's really good timing. What inspired me to do it was the event, the Hollywood event. Are you guys playing that? Anybody playing that event? It's actually not my favorite event at all, but it's the one where basically you can bring down the enemy shields by using EMPs, explosives, or your special weapons. So what it does do, even though I'm not a big fan of it, but what it does do is inspires you to use some builds that you wouldn't normally otherwise use, right? So like a tip of spear build, a great time to whip out a tip of spear build. Tor says hello from Germany. All right. Yeah, Tuesday we're gonna get 16.3, George. Yep, 16.3. I don't have the patch notes yet. I don't think they're released yet. They usually don't release them until the same day. But so they the reason why the Hollywood event isn't that great is because it makes enemies that are already tanky like extremely tankier. I mean, extremely. They're basically invulnerable, right? Because tried shooting them while their shields are up, you can't. You know, I mean, like it takes like I'll have a guy with just a sliver of health left, and it'll take the full mag of like 8-round shotgun to the face to take him down, and he's got only a sliver of health, and so they're invulnerable. And so that's why I don't really like the event, because yeah, of course you bring down their shields and they're no longer invulnerable, but there's no real buffs to you. And then, you know, that's one of the things I think a lot of players complain about is how tanky the enemies already are. So to create a game mode that makes them even tankier, just, you know, I don't know, right? You know, I just don't think it's a great idea. I don't think it's a good idea for an event, at least, you know. But Golden Bullet is nice because it really, you know, there's a dramatic buff to you. The enemies are stronger but not tankier, and so yeah, stronger I can get down with that, even though, you know, I think they can get more creative than that though, right? With these global events. I mean, I like Reanimated because that's why Reanimated is my favorite, because they don't get stronger, they don't get tankier, but what they do is multiply, basically, right? If you don't get that headshot, they get back up, they get into zombie mode. And I think that's what the game needs to look at, is more creative ways, like maybe the enemy moves faster, slows down, these kind of things. You move faster, you slow down. Other things to buff the enemy besides let's make them stronger, and they're already so much stronger than us. You know what I mean? Oh my god. Yeah, I'm like you, Memphis. I usually skip this event, but I do like bringing out builds to say, hey guys, if you are gonna play this event, try this build if you need an excuse. And so when it comes to the events, like there's the rewards track, and so if I am gonna tinker around in an event, I at least is gonna play long enough to get that, you know, those 10, what I think it's 10 stashes, caches, sorry, those 10 caches and the little mini rewards track. And you know, if I don't like the event, if I get those caches, that's worth it just for those caches. You get one of them just for turning it on, so you only got 9 more to go. I think it's 9. Yeah, it is. Yeah, and then they cut us out, so we didn't only get cut out of other content, right, or delays, but they cut out Reanimated. So Reanimated isn't even around this season. It's not around, and I think they cut it out because they were going to make the season short because of the drop time for season 11, which just got delayed. So now we're just short on content, and so so I got my fingers crossed that they're going to compensate us with some repeat events. They've done that in the past, where they've extended events such as like Reanimated or whatever. They gave us twice as long on it or whatever. I don't think it's that big of a deal for them to do that. They should really consider it, you know. I don't know, but yeah. So hey, let's jump into the next thing that I got for you guys, which is going to be the gamer music videos. So if you guys don't know what gamer music videos are, they're basically like something that you would expect on MTV, but instead of video recorded footage like from a camera. It uses footage from video games, different video games, multiple video games, sometimes all stitched together to tell a story that aligns with the lyrics or the beat of the video. And so they're inspirational, they're just for fun, but they're there to build hype, to help you game. Together they can be combined to create a gamer music playlist, but a lot of fun. Larry Cummings, you can quick question. Yeah, good question there. So he's asking about the build, the explosive build, if you could swap. So you can and you can't. Like, it is specifically an explosive delivery build. So if you swap the chest, it is no longer an explosive delivery build. But you can. And so if you don't care about it being an explosive delivery build, then you're going to end up with an explosive build with armor regen, and then and then you're good to go, I guess. I mean, what else would I change? I guess I would move something around. I mean, you're probably not going to need the Brazos anymore. I'm not so sure you would, because you just lost your chest slot, which is China Light, so you're gonna need to put China Light somewhere else. You have to have China Light on an explosive damage build, right? I mean, you don't have to, but it's a pretty good idea. So if you're gonna have to put probably China on your backpack, and then you're gonna have Gruppo, 2 pieces of Gruppo. And then I guess you could still run 1 piece of Brazos though. You could still run 1 piece of Brazo. But you're gonna be down to skill tier in that configuration. I'm trying to picture it. Let me look at here. So if we have Ridgeway on the chest, then we can run 2-piece Gruppo, 1-piece China, 2 Gruppo. I guess you could still run. No, yeah, you must run 2-piece Brazos if you run Ridgeway's Pride, because you're gonna run Demolitionist on your backpack, and then you're gonna be down to skill tier because of Ridgeway's Pride chest piece, right? It's gonna take a skill tier away from you because it's a red core. It's not really worth it, I gotta say. Most builds, Ridgeway's Pride is really hard to find a build that's worth it. Because the enemy's got to be inside. The point is they're gonna explode and die, so the bleed isn't. I mean, they do bleed to death. It does happen, but man, I mean, they're bleeding to death because there's not much left of them to bleed. If that makes sense, you know what I mean? So I see the appeal. Try it for yourself. But what I would hope you do is like really watch your regen and be like, shit, am I actually getting any regen? I think you're better off just running preservation on your gun, and then you're gonna get it no matter what distance the enemy is, and you're gonna get it no matter what do you call it, whether they're bleeding or not. So I don't know, but yeah, somebody else did ask that question too during the build lab. Hey, why don't you run the Ridgeway's chest? But the biggest reason why is because it's an explosive delivery build, so it would no longer be that. But anyways, yeah, you can run explosive builds with Ridgeway's Pride, but the thing is that explosion builds are pretty strong. The enemies die pretty quick, and that's the thing that I've always noticed that about Ridgeway's Pride. You guys probably too, is that the enemies are, if you have a good build, check this out, guys. If you have a good build, you're nerfing Ridgeway's Pride, right? If you have a good build, then you're not getting any regen because you're killing the enemies. You're killing your source of healing. That's why that build, that chest piece is meant for maybe tanks, like tanks that have a really slow time to kill, or slow enough. That doesn't have to be like the slowest in the game, but like slow enough. You know what I mean? But that's the thing about, I hate pieces that the stronger you are, then you nerf your build. That sucks. I hate builds like that. I do have builds for Ridgeway's Pride, but you notice I don't have very many of them because they don't make a ton of sense, because you're nerfing yourself. But I like the idea of it, and I used to use it a lot. But the thing is, the builds just are limited for it, like what kind of builds you can run. If that kind of stuff bothers you, but if that kind of stuff doesn't bother you, then you got all day, baby. Okay, so let's check out this, the latest gamer music video. So if you guys didn't know, I have a second channel. You should be seeing links drop in the chat. Let me test this actually. Tux2. So if you do exclamation Tux2, then you should see the link pop up. There you go. So that's my second channel. So it's a place where music and gaming worlds collide. And these gamer music videos are a really good demonstration of what I mean when I say that. So let's check it out. Let me just turn off the music real quick. Here we go. Oh, wait. Let me turn that off. Sorry about that. Oops, almost turned on the mini series. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that. So that's the second one for the new channel that I've created. The Get GMVs. They generally tend to be about 3 minutes long or so. But you know, once you start stacking them in there in the channel, and I do have a playlist created, you know, you can run that playlist and get you know, them running back to back and get a whole gameplay's worth of music playing in your background. So hope you guys enjoy that. So be sure to check out the second channel when you get a sec. Love it if you supported me over there with a nice little sub, maybe a comment or a like or two. Totally helps. Totally helps. Yeah, I haven't. I've been meaning to get back into to Modern Warfare 2. I haven't logged in Modern Warfare in over a week, so. But my trigger finger is itching for some PvP action, or there's some fast-paced, addictive PvP action. It's actually pretty addicting. 4 or 5 hours flies by real quickly over there. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but yeah. So, but you know, lots to do, lots of editing and stuff like that. But we'll get squeeze some Modern Warfare time in here, hopefully in the coming week. Couple hours at least. Need to finish that. You know, I haven't even finished my campaign yet. I don't even know how the campaign ends, because once they released the PvP content, I started playing that. Just sort of the best way to level up the shit ton of weapons that you gotta level up. You got unlock all the all your attachments, and then you gotta level up your character, of course, your account, and then you gotta level up or unlock camos on top of all of that, which I guess I'll just take my time doing that stuff. DZ felt too slow before Modern Warfare 2. Like, I try to go in there when I'm creating the PvP builds, but I end up having to go to skirmish, and even skirmish is a little bit slow, you know what I mean, to load up. I mean, it's not horrible. Skirmish is a little bit better, but I get in there pretty early in the morning, and it's like, it's quiet in the morning. It's like, wow, it's really quiet in here. You know, so that's might be part of my problem, is I'm there in the morning, and maybe, you know, on my West Coast servers, or I'm assuming that it was a West Coast server when I tap into it, but they're just maybe not that busy because it's really early. People don't like to kill each other that early in the morning, I guess. But oh yeah, so as far as the bugs on the PC, they just, you know, a lot of people have questions about that. So they're fixing the bugs a little by little, and so there's many layers to these bugs that, whether you're on PC or console player, experience. They have addressed that lightly, and have just said that, you know, little by little, they're trying to fix the bugs, sort of like peeling an onion, you know, into trying to get to the inner core of that beast. But it's and so they would just release that new roadmap, and if you look on the bottom of the roadmap, it does say that they're continuing to, even though content is delayed in release, that they're gonna continue to work on bugs and stuff like that. So, but they didn't address any particular bug. But the initial report, and I don't know if this part has been delayed because they haven't addressed it, but the initial report was they were hoping to have the PC bug fixed for TU11. But they didn't anticipate it being all 100% fixed prior to TU11. However, some people might have it fixed, some people might not, depending on which bug you're experiencing. And, you know, I'm not in PC world myself, so and I don't experience any of those bugs, so, you know, can't say. But and the reports that I get are all over the place. Some people don't have any bugs, some people crash daily, you know what I mean, and are annoyed by it. Some people don't say anything, so I assume that they're okay, right, or whatever. But yeah, so that's all I have there for you. But some of the people that are covering the game are actually on PC. Who's a PC player that covers the game? Anybody know? But they're obviously playing. a lot of PlayStation players and Xbox players, a lot of PlayStation players. So I don't know if there's which of the content creators are PC that cover the game, but if you're still watching their videos, then that's a good sign that they're able to log in. But maybe they're not talking about their crashes. I don't know. I don't think Division 3 is coming. I think Division 3, in my opinion, Division 3 is subject to Heartland. Heartland is what's coming, right? So Heartland is, I mean, the Ubisoft just doesn't do a really good job of having multiple releases, right? Like multiple titles and managing them. I don't know why they're bad at it, but they are. I mean, look at Call of Duty. They can have like 30 titles running at the same time, right? Activision. But Ubisoft is just like, you know, one game and they can't manage it very well. All the resources are probably being spent on, what do you call them? On unreleased games, you know? Avatar and, you know, this type of stuff that they're working on in the background. So, I mean, anyways, my prediction, what I think is going on is the devs are working hard on Heartland. Hopefully that realizes sometime soon, but who knows. And then if that goes really well and the community gets built up, then, you know, I think there's an opportunity for them to continue continue on with a Division 3 and tie it all together. But yeah, I'm excited for Heartland. They got some cool things. You know, I've only seen a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I haven't really paid attention to too many of the leaks, and the reason why is just because, you know, I'm not a big leak guy. I don't know. I mean, it's things always change by the time you get to the game, so you're like, oh cool, I got my hearts you know, into this one element, and then that element doesn't make it, right? Like, did you ever see like the early stuff on the Division, I think it was Division 2, where the watch looked really different, right? Like the watch was all different, and we were gonna be able to, the mobile app, remember the mobile app talks, that we were gonna be able to come in and like as a drone and like guide our players and stuff like that. So
hostile control point nearby.
I don't know. I know the consoles don't really have crashing problems, Diz. Like, it's a major PC issue. I mean, I think Xbox and PlayStation probably have quality control, you know, stability requirements to some degree. And so I think the energy and emphasis on fixes or making sure that the game is really stable for those platforms take priority, take precedence because of that. Or, you know, Xbox and PlayStation will start like refunding people's stuff, and, you know, they won't host the games and, you know, stuff like that. I don't know. I don't get too much into politics, but no disconnected. There aren't actually any other content creators in the Division 2. It's just us. You know, it's just me. It's me and the Grouches. Me and the Worksheet Warriors. It's me, and then the guys that the self-loathing content creators, the ones that attacked YouTube content creators with YouTube content, that say that all YouTube content creators are bad, but they themselves are YouTube content creators. It's me and those guys, the self-loathing spreadsheet YouTube content creators. Oh, those guys make me laugh. I get a kick out of them. All YouTubers are liars, and I'm telling you this in a YouTube video as a YouTube content creator. It's like, YouTubers are liars. There's a grand YouTube conspiracy out there storming the Capitol. You know, it's like, there's no conspiracy, man. It's a video game. Just have fun, you know. Have fun. A YouTuber made a mistake today, and I'm gonna make a 10-minute video about it and show you how much better I am than that YouTuber with this 10-minute video, because I need to stroke my ego. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, Jesus Christ, this is the quality content we get in the Division 2. Quality content. Oh, sad. It's a very sad place. You know what I mean? It's a little disheartening that these are my colleagues. You know, but if I didn't love the game and the community that we've built so much, you know, I don't know if I'd tolerate that, but it's small time thinking, basically, you know what I mean? And that's what holds back the game. You know what I mean? These guys need to think bigger than about themselves, you know. And if they do that, then they would also have successful channels and whatnot. I'm not talking about, like, you know, like the Sergeant Graybeards or the what's the other guys, Lieutenant Light Buzzyear. I mean, those guys are great, really nice guys, and they basically give their news. They're basically news channels and give their perspective on the games or what's going on, you know, kind of stuff. And that's nice. We need that stuff, you know. But the guys that create channels just to attack other channels, that'll kill a game if you get enough of them, right? That'll kill a game, because people are gonna be like, I don't want to create content for an unappreciative community. You know what I mean? Because what ends up happening is, if you watch or if you read those guys' comments, that they're negative channels, right? Obviously doing negative stuff and talking shit about each other and other content creators and whatever, calling people trash and belittling you. But if you read their comments, people agree with them, right? So what ends up happening is they attract negativity, and then they spread the negativity. So they attract, because there's other people that think like that. They're not alone. There's other negative thinkers out there. This is the internet. Let's get real. You know what I mean? This is the internet. And so they attract those people. Of course, their fans are ultra negative too. Of course they are, you know? And so, but I did, you know, it's just like, and so that's why it's like, I consider those channels a plague to our community in the game. And they're absolutely despicable, you know? But they hide behind a mask of, I am your savior. I'm the savior to the game. And that's what makes them even worse, right? They're like, I'm the savior, you know? I'm gonna give you a fact, you know? And because of that, I'm the savior. You know, it's just weird. But I don't know. It's part of what's wrong with the Division 2, unfortunately. We need bigger thinkers out there helping keep the energy alive and driving in new players, you know? We don't need an I'm right and you're wrong constant ongoing conversation. But hey, speaking of which, I'm right and you're wrong. Let's get into Pimp My Build. Are you down for some Pimp My Build action? Got more fun. Let's see who, let me pull this up here real quick. Let me pause this and let's kick it off.
So you want to be a player, you got to hit us up to get a pimped out ride.
You got to pimp my ride.
Damn right.
You're damn right. All right, so this is the Pimp My Build, and this one is actually coming from two banditos. And now these come from Discord, just so you know. And so this is Smurf Piss Blue, who was featured a couple of episodes ago on a Pimp My Blue build, and last week was Black Tux Widow. And so Smurf Piss Blue did one for us a couple of weeks ago that we pimped out and had a lot of fun with that one. That was the Terminator build where we used 3-piece Brazos, and so we're bringing to you another 3-piece Brazos. This one is super off meta, and I haven't actually tested it yet, but we're gonna talk about, discuss it, and then look through and swap out some of these build pieces and kind of discuss the direction I'm thinking. But Smurf Piss Blue and Jaco actually teamed up on this one in Discord. So if you guys didn't know, if you're members, you can just go into Discord. First of all, you should be part of Discord. Are you not? If you're not, we need to have a talk. Are you part of Discord? You're officially invited to Discord as of this moment. So there you go. No excuses. No excuses. So there's no cost to Discord. Head over there, guys. It's like, this is the community. We are not elitists. We are not a clan only Discord. And god damn it, we are way more than just about raids. And so I'm saying all of that because a lot of other Discords, that's basically, you can encapsulate them there. That's all they do is raids, you know, and it's just, but we are the central hub for the Division 2 player base for those that love this game and want to continue to see it thrive. That's what our Discord is about. And that means we have to be more than about ourselves. We have to be more than our egos. So this is, I like to say this is an ego-free environment, and we try to watch for that. And then we like to spread positivity, support each other, group up. We also raid. We got clans, more clans than I can count nowadays. And so this is the place to be, especially if you love builds. Especially if you love builds. We got a really thriving build channel. And so it's where it doesn't matter the platform. There's lots of discussions there. So if you want to learn about the Division 2, this is a good spot. You can ask a question and crowdsource the information. Don't get it from just me. I'm one perspective. There's facts, and then there's facts. No. I mean, there's a lot of game knowledge. And so it's not about facts or not facts, but maybe somebody explains it better than I do, or in a way that you can comprehend better, right? And so, or a lot of the stuff I don't even touch on because I take for granted, assuming that you might already know, and maybe you don't. And so this isn't, you can engage somebody, you can post a question and people will answer it for you there, right? You get, and that's what I mean by crowdsource. You'll get answers from multiple different people. People will agree, people will disagree, whatever, you know what I mean? So, but good people, good place to make friends too. And so, you know, head over there. Head into Discord. But anyways, what I was gonna say, if you're members, if you got a nice little fancy skull next to your name, that means I'm talking to you. And so we have a Pimp My Build channel, and in there you can drop snapshots of your build, and you could ask for just advice on it, or say, hey Tux, what would you do with this concept? And you know, maybe I'll do the same thing, maybe I'll take it in a complete different direction. But if it's a build that I think will be helpful or interesting for the community, then I'll feature it in something like this or in its own build video. And so the reason why I wanted to touch on this one is because there's a lot of different things going on here that I think need to be talked about. We're not going to be able to cover it all in this stream, but basically we got a 3-piece Brazos and a 3-piece True Patriot. So what both of those things do is give you more ammo. So more ammo in the magazine, I should say, magazine size. So True Patriot gives you 30% larger magazine, okay? And then Brazos gives you 20%. So that's a 50% larger magazine. And then you see he's got a couple of guns here, but the gun that we're gonna be focusing on is his secondary gun, which is the Manic. Okay, and I'll show you some of the stuff because I got the build compiled here, a starter build. But Manic comes with perfectly overflowing, which means every 2 reloads from empty increases your base magazine by 100%. So we're talking about an additional 150% at least more ammo. Now it's gonna, and so the reason why it's more complicated than that, so I'm just kind of generalizing. So be warned, I'm generalizing. Okay, so it is more complicated than that because the way the mechanics of the game actually work are with perfectly overflowing is what I mean. It doesn't necessarily work out to 150% every 2 reloads. It's gonna be a little bit different. Some split between 100 and 150. So anyways, but every 2 reloads is every other reload, so it reads a little confusing. So let me hide this real quick. So it reads a little confusing, but here's perfectly overflowing. So every 2 reloads from empty increases your base magazine capacity by 100%. Right. So, and this is built on the AK. So this is which is the strongest weapon in the game next to the Kingbreaker. The difference really being in the RPMs, and so the Kingbreaker is gonna have a little better DPS. But and then what I believe he also has is he's got what do you call it? Additional magazine size as an attribute, but I'm not gonna do that. and we'll talk about that. But you can also make it even bigger. So you can make basically the largest magazine. We're talking, you know, so every 2 reloads is gonna push you. Look at the starter magazine on this thing is 75. You know, I should go put that. You know what? Why don't I just go ahead and put the magazine size thing on there so we can match up with this. But the starter magazine size is 75. Think about that on the strongest assault rifle, right? Where were we? Assault rifles, AK, Manic. And so let's put that larger mag here. Do I have it? Magazine size, yeah. So I should put it to 87. 81. Okay. So 81 is our starter magazine size. That's insane, right? And then when you reload, it's going to give you 100%. But this is the keyword. There's a keyword there, right? Your base magazine capacity. The base magazine capacity is the capacity of the weapon itself. Now, so we need to test this, but I think it's probably not supposed to take into account Brazos or True Patriot, but I saw in their comments thread that one of them was being taken into consideration anyways. So what should end up happening is every 2 reloads, you can get 100% magazine capacity of the base, which is what, 60 rounds, 50 rounds, right? Whatever the base was. And so it's gonna give you 100 rounds, and then whatever you have extra is gonna go on top of that. So we'll have to test that. But before we do, let's continue to look at their build and break it down. So as you can see, 3-piece Brazos is required to get to 20%. 3-piece True Patriot is what's required to get to 30% magazine size. And now they're running theirs definitely off meta, I gotta say. So they got Technician and 4 skill tiers, 5 skill tiers. What am I seeing here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's a 6 skill tier build there. Yep. And then the skills, which you kind of got cut off there. One's a riot foam, and the other one is the shield. So I don't think I'm gonna do that. And then as you can see, they got focus, which I like that chest talent. Actually, I might want to do that too. I like the focus idea. And then they got combined arms. So focus is really strong. That's not perfect focus, but it doesn't matter. But that's basically 50% weapon damage when looking down scope. And then it's tends to be stronger than a glass cannon. It's different. It's more of a sustained damage where glass cannons can give you a little bit more burst damage. Obviously, glass cannon comes with the downside, but so does focus. Focus, you have to stay in scope. So, but along with focus, you can pull in an 8x scope and get more headshot damage out of that too. So there's, you know, so it's not bad to be in scope. But the idea here is, look, if you're gonna have a mag size greater than 100 every reload, then you're gonna always want to be shooting, right? You're gonna always want to be shooting. So, so you need to find good cover and use your shield, and then play into the corner glitch, which we'll get into a little bit later. Probably we're gonna tinker around with this build in the after party. The after party starts at 1:30. If you guys didn't know, that's the stream directly after this stream. So, but yeah, so so like if you're gonna have, the whole point of having such a big mag is not, if you get, let me put it this way, if you get suppressed, then you now have time to reload. So, and if you're always being suppressed, then you're always reloading, right? So that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And we've talked about this, like somebody else posted a build similar to this. And so it's, and we talked about the Lady Death and whatever, but like when you get out of cover with the Lady Death brings a lot of amp damage for you as well. But playing this out of cover, you need a lot of burst damage, and that's not what a larger mag is giving you. But I get it with the Lady Death. It's got a small mag, and it's making it into basically a regular size mag almost, right? But which is gonna be helpful, especially on some amplified damage. But you're losing so much damage here that this is an off-meta build, and I'm not sure I'd want to necessarily run and gun with it. You know what I mean? Like you're compensating, like you're losing, you're gaining skill haste in the skill tier, which not really going to be using. On their build, they are. And so I see the direction that they went. But for me, like, I feel like, and it's really interesting because I know why they did the things here, and I haven't actually run it that way. But as you can see, they got crits, and they got skill tiers, and they got armor. There's absolutely no red cores. And the reason why I'm thinking, like, I think I would want to replace the yellows for red cores is because the build is like a sustained damage concept. It's like, it's almost more important than the crits, I think, the red cores. But it's not wrong what they did. It's actually really creative, and it's probably very fun and probably actually effective because of focus. So the part that we're not seeing there is that we got a high weapon damage already because it's the AK, and then there's focus, which is giving you another 50% weapon damage, which is compensating for some of that weapon damage you lost with the skill tiers. So I get it. And then there's the crits, right? And then there's the crits. And so but I think in the version, so there's nothing wrong with that, but I think in the version that I would want to toy around with just to take it in a different direction would probably be go towards a more sustained damage type version. Really making a build for the manic. Really, it's really more of a manic build than a large mag build. It's a manic build. And so I think if I want to go to manic build, I'm just going to drop the skill concept. And so we were going to have a skill haste and a skill tier, and that's going to, we're going to still get some good use out of it, because I think we're going to run the shield too. Like, if we want to use this for legendary, I would like to try. I don't know if it'll work for legendary yet, but I would like to try. And if we do that, then stronger heals from a repair drone, and then also stronger a shield from the extra skill tier. So but I think gunner is actually going to be important, because obviously we got a really large mag. The idea is to never stop shooting. I don't know. Yeah, you can run the capacitor version too. That was a discussion, but the manic is sort of what came into play here. But yeah, you can do a capacitor build off of this as well. But you might not really need. The thing about skill builds is that you really are playing from cover, and so a larger mag is definitely helpful for the capacitor. But to go excessively large in the capacitor, I'm not sure is necessary. You know what I mean? Because after 50 rounds, you're already in cover. You can reload. You just need a larger mag to get your DPS in balance with where it really should be, right? Because it comes with a 40 round mag, and you're going to push it to 50. And so, but pushing it to, another 65 rounds, is a little helpful, but you are behind cover. You're going to be reload. You have plenty of time to reload anyways, But see, the thing about the reason why this one's kind of unique and special is because of the manic. The manic already is pushing you to 100. So it's sort of like, let's lean into an already excessively large assault rifle mag and make it even larger and kind of get it to an LMG size, but that plays like an assault rifle. And so that makes it a little bit unique for legendary, because we're like, well, why don't you just use the RPK? The RPK is basically this same weapon, right? The RPK starts off with the 65 round mag. And so you can make that thing larger. But the difference is that RPK comes with damage to targets out of cover already on it. And so there's not a high amount of health damage, which makes it a little bit underpowered for legendary content. But I like where this goes. I have to try it the way they are. So I'm really, I'm suspicious of all those yellow cores and how powerful it would feel. But these guys said it was a lot of fun. And so I'm curious to definitely try it out. But I definitely going to pull some ideas. And so we're going to pimp it. And so let's take a look at what I got going on here. And so this is basically the same concept as I just removed the skill elements from it, right? And you got to remember they're using a lot of those skill elements because they're trying to make the most. They're trying to minimize waste by going that direction. And what waste is the first two pieces of brazos are skill haste and the skill tier. So although we're not getting the most out of that, it is still helping our skills, right? So when our drone expires, it goes down. It's gonna come back a little bit helpful. The haste is probably the biggest waste, but the skill tier, holy shit, we're definitely gonna be using stronger heals and a stronger shield that breaks with the single bullet. And that, no, really, that's a tier 4 shield. That's definitely a stronger shield, right? Tier 4, amazing. So this is the version I'm working on. Again, it says we got the Manic with 81 base. We're gonna test this in a second. I got the 8x scopes because I'm gonna try focus like Smurf and Jaco had suggested. I think that's a great idea. And then I'll show you why when we get to legendary content. And then we get crit mods. And I'm using the stability modifier because this weapon is a beast. And the Omega suppressor is one of the best suppressors for any assault rifle build, by the way. I often don't put it on because I'm looking for the crit chance, but the reality is that this is better than putting crit chance on your barrel. 20% stability, unless you got a very stable assault rifle. But even on the stable ones, it's good. So 2.5 second reload, keep that in mind. But we got a large mag, so that's really diminishing that reload time there because of we're always shooting. Perfectly overflowing every 2 reloads from your empty increases your base magazine size. So we're gonna show you what that means here. We're gonna test that. Then we got 3 pieces of Brazo, which is giving us larger ammo capacity, which is very important because we will be shooting a lot and also missing a lot. Magazine size 30%, and I got crits everywhere. And then here's the other 3 pieces. It's consistent. The knees. Now you don't want True Patriot on your chest or your backpack because that means you're gonna lose a talent slot. So for the knees, I got the Picaro's holster with the armor and crits. And then here's my second piece. I put focus. It's got crits on it. And then here's the backpack. I'm running vigilance. And we are gonna have that shield. We are gonna play from corners. So it should be fun. Happy baby birthday, Mandy and Wayne. Congrats. Woo! Shout out to baby Wayne, Mandy Panda. Good for you guys. How fun. It's a girl, if I remember right. Is that right? Okay, so let's take a test here. Is she walking yet? Is she starting to get into trouble? Okay, just gonna figure out which secondary one. Okay, cool. Okay, so our base magazine size is 82. So on reload, let's see what the number is, right? Oh wait, this is supposed to be vulnerable elite. It's been a while since I've used an AK. So you got to run into empty in order to get the bonus. There it is. 81. So that's the first reload. So it'll be every other reload. It'll come faster after you start to kick it off. 130. Woo! 130. That's a beast. Right? Okay, so let's see. See what that means. In our perfect little world where the paper target doesn't move. Holy shit. About 5 million, I think is what that was. And then we're back to 80. See that? So if it was 100% off of 81, what would it be, guys? It'd be 162, right? So we're not getting 162. We're getting 130. And that's because the base magazine size on this thing is it 50? It's taken something into consideration. Because 130 would be 65. So it is taking something into consideration. That's really interesting, and they were mentioning that. Let me take off magazine size. So the reality is I would take off magazine size, so you know. And the reason why is because we are missing some damage talents here, right? We're missing the four-piece True Patriot talent. That's huge. That's 9% amplified damage. That's a lot. We're missing 9% amplified damage for a larger mag. You know, so and so I'm gonna want to balance that out. I think that like I would probably run this with without that, even though it's fun to see. but I would put damage targets out of cover there. Ooh, we need some ammo. I mean, e-credit ammo. So, anyways, that's gonna drop our mag to 75. So we lost 5 or 6 rounds, but we pick up 10% multiplicative damage. So that's gonna jump up our crit and that sustained damage. DPS. But this is probably how I'd run it. But let me just put it on a vulnerable elite. I want to see what it changes to. I'll have to calculate it later, but I'm curious on which one of these pieces. I'll have to start stripping pieces down and I'll do it later. But which one of these pieces is it Brazos or is it True Patriot? So we're 75. So this next reload will. $120. So it was using magazine size as part of the base calculation. So that's interesting. So now we're seeing 20. So that's that looks like it is Brazos, right? Because the base size of this magazine is 50. And so 100% of 50 would take us to 100 rounds. And then there's 20 on top of that. So if it was, that's that magazine size right there. Which is really interesting, Brazos. And then if it was this one, then we should see 130, which it's not, right? That's strange. That's strange. But yeah, I think this is fun. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this into the build lab, which is gonna start here in about 3 minutes. And we are going to play with this. So we're gonna take it into legendary and see if we can do some damage with it. And if not, then we're going to tweak it until it's where it needs to be. But the reason why I wanted to cover this build is because I think a lot of people have been wondering or have been seeing, asking questions about, can I do a 3-piece Brazos for a DPS build? And then it's not the first time that I've heard, well, what about 3-piece Brazos and 3-piece True Patriot, right? So I think the answer can be yes, if carefully constructed to compensate for the lost damage you would otherwise have by just running a 4-piece True Patriot. Right, and then you got to consider the team buffs too. True Patriot helps your team too, so it's sort of more of a solo concept that way, right? Because you want to be able to answer this question in a good way. Why not just run an LMG? Why not just run an LMG? So that's why we're talking legendary, because the high health damage in an assault rifle is great for legendary. So that's one way to answer it. But are you better off with 9% amplified damage or a larger mag? And that's a really good question. I'm not sure I could just answer it in theory. I think it'd have to be in practice. Does a larger mag save your life? Does a larger mag help you clear content faster than what otherwise True Patriot would do? Because you know what happens, you put on that 4th piece of True Patriot, you're gonna lose Brazos, you're gonna lose 3-piece Brazos, might narrow it down to just the Picaro's holster, right? And then put on an assault, a Fenris chest or a Grupo chest or something like that. So cool. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed the show. I had a really good time, and we're gonna continue to do these on a weekly basis, as well as doing our other live streams. And so make sure you hit the like on this video and drop a comment down below when it ends. But this is what's going to happen. So I'm going to end this show and then start the after party, which will be the build lab. Okay. And so the build lab, you'll automatically, if you're on YouTube, you'll automatically roll over there. If you're in Twitch, you just have to hang tight. It'll take me about maybe a minute or 2 to get the next one rolling. So let me just pause this stuff. You know why, right? Because we got to roll out with this.
Are you ready for some world-class vocalization? Yo, Brennan, break them off a little something, something.
The Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. I'll do you in the bottom while you're drinking sangria.
Nachos, lemon heads, my dad's boat. You won't go down 'cause my dick can float. Put on your life vest, let's jump anchor. There's a nice lady, oh, I like to swank her.
Boats and hoes, boats and hoes. I gotta have me my boats and hoes, boats and hoes, boats and hoes.
Tuxedo out.